Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Q and Erik. Last week, I didn't do an episode, sorry about that guys, but the week before, I asked all of you what you thought about the show and things you'd like to see more of and things like that, and we got some great responses, some great questions. One of the things a lot of people were asking was more technical stuff and more in-depth talk about how to actually complete a project from beginning to end. So today I wanted to try something new, a little modified version of Q and Erik. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think. But basically what I'm going to do is pretty soon my face is going to get really small in the corner, and we're going to bring up one of the test films, an old BFX test film that's basically one of our bigger productions. And later, as I do new short films and things like that with Justin, we can use those as examples. And it's going to be sort of like a director's commentary. We're gonna play through, stop at certain points and point out things. And I'm just going to kind of point out all the little tricks that we use to pull off that short film for super cheap. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're starting right away. We've got the Indie Mogul logo, and you'll see right away that the shot of Voldemort in the basement, which was my Brooklyn basement, the basement of my apartment building, and looked really scary. You can tell that he looks sort of, especially right there, you can tell that he looks, the movement is weird, it's kind of blurry, and that's because we had to have the shutter speed basically cranked so low because it was so dark. And it actually gave it kind of a cool, creepy look. But we were shooting on an HVX, and it's not as good as low light as the DSLRs that weren't out yet when we shot this. So here we're on my roof, the same apartment building. And another thing you'll notice to create the crowd is basically there's always hands in the bottom of the frame of the foreground. And we literally had three extra people for the most part hanging out on PA, so I would just have them on their knees, and they would be, you can see right there, they're moving, and the sound effects, all about the sound effect, and that little hint makes you think, hey, there's a crowd. So for this shot, I'm going to pause it, and Voldemort, it's scary. So basically, for that shot, what we did is we started the camera up high, it was on a tripod, and we started up in the sky and just sort of imagined the timing of this smoke, Voldemort flying in, and just kind of tilted down. And then when the camera rested at his landing position, we held still, locked the camera down. Doug is not in the frame, and then we had Doug jump in the frame from the side. I actually have some footage of him jumping in, and then we started rolling again, and then through After Effects, basically, Ian Brown created that pillar of smoke coming towards, had it come down with the movement, and then it's a very simple, if you watch the transporter effect on BFX, it's the same technique of basically we just kind of split the frame and just kind of had him blend in and hid that all with extra smoke. Okay, so that's actually very few people know. I'm going to pause again. That record is a Neil Diamond record that we bought. There's a record shop by my apartment that we bought it for 25 cents. And for the wand, we just added simple color correction. I think I actually did that in Final Cut. Just created a little mask. Okay, so you've got Voldemort getting into rap. Another thing we did here, which was just sort of on the spur of the moment, is these backlights. So you can see right there, and we've kind of got some lens flares going on. Those are just work lights. And at first we just did them for style, but as we started losing the light, they became really necessary. And a biggest problem we had with this shoot was losing the light, as I said before. And I'll point out some times where basically we had to do, right there, I'll pause it, go back, okay. So, right here, we had to do basically sky replacement, because as I started to cut this together, the light was going fast, and I actually accidentally at one point reset the white balance and didn't notice, so that was a major rookie mistake. A lot of times the viewer, well, the background in the previous shot was like generally that color blue, and this shot, which was artificially created, that similar blue, but it's all about creating, you know, when you're cutting from scene to scene, it's not a jarring thing to do, and that was a real pain in the ass. And there was another quick sky replacement where we didn't just change the color, I also added that lightning. And that lightning, I just went on YouTube actually and found like a video, or like a stock video of lightning, and kind of manipulated it and then put it in the background. I can see the crowd really working there, and the cheering sound effects is what's really selling it. So as far as other lights, we had the 2 work lights as sort of backlights, and creating those lens flares. And then up front, what you can't see right behind me is we had a big 1,000 watt softbox that I don't think we had 2, I think we just had 1, and that was basically blasting forward, and that's what provided all our key light. So now you can see the light is totally gone, it's totally dark. So apparently this wrap has been going on for a long time. By this point, all the light that you see is artificial. So for that really awesome Expecto Patronum shot, Mike pointing his wand up in the sky, and then I just panned up into blackness, and then we had Ian, basically he created that particle swirl, and at first he, you know, motion tracked it or keyframed it onto the tip of the wand, and then as soon as the camera sort of panned into total darkness, he just added that, you know, made the swirl bigger and brighter, and then flashed to white, and then we cut to close-up of Mike. Okay, so here's Voldemort. I'm going to pause right here. I actually did this all in a combination of Motion, Apple Motion, and Final Cut. So for the actual, some of the other glowing wand tips and Voldemort's Avada Kedavra, like the energy shooting out, is just like a stock motion particle effect that I just kind of squished and modified and changed the color. And then I think what really sells it though is the atmospheric glow from his blast, and that's how I've always covered up that type of things, because no one really knows what a wand magic shooting out from a wand looks like. But if you just kind of blow out everything else and add a blur, it's like, wow, it's really powerful, and I think it sells it a lot better. Again, that was done with really 3 lights, a big 1,000 watt softbox in the front as our key light, and then those 2 work lights as the backlight that also worked sort of like a stylistic decorative light. It was outdoors, so we had some natural light. It was the 3 actors, and I think three or 4 PAs, and me, and that was it. And you can see it's got, you know, it's a little rougher on the edges, but it's got a big look. And I think it's a good example of what you guys can do for cheap. And we shot that all in, we would have shot that in probably about, I don't know, maybe 5 hours. But there was this huge storm, rainstorm that basically would come. It would come in and it would just dump on us. It would just pour rain for 20 minutes. And then it would disappear and it would be sunny for 20 minutes. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. I hope it was helpful, and you got some good information that you can apply to your next short film. But let us know what you think about this format and if it was helpful. We're definitely going to still do the normal Q and Eriks, but maybe we'll alternate or do, you know, one of these a month or something like that. Let me know what you think, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.